Hi everyone, I'm Ravi Handa, founder of the website handagafunda.com. Welcome to another video on summary. In questions on summaries, what we need to do is we need to look at the paragraph and figure out which of these following four statements captures the essence of the passage in the best possible way. Now to do that, first thing is we need to figure out which of these statements are true and false. And once we figure out that maybe two of them are true, three of them are true, we need to figure that which one covers the passage in the best possible way. Let's have a look at the passage. Vance Packard's The Hidden Persuaders alerted the public to the psychoanalytical techniques used by the advertising agency. So Vance Packard presumably wrote this book which made the public aware of what the advertising industry does. Its premise was that advertising agencies were using in-depth interviews to identify the hidden consumer motivations, which were then used to entice consumers to buy goods. So what the agencies were doing is they were figuring out what the consumers want, it is somewhere hidden in them, and then use what they have found to sell their products. Critics and reporters often assumed that Packard was writing mainly about subliminal advertising. So subliminal means subconscious advertising, which is stuff that is not really aware to you, it is happening in your subconscious. And that is what the Packard was writing about. That is what critics assumed. On the other hand, Packard never mentioned the word subliminal. So that's not what his Packard's intention was. However, and devoted very little space to discussion of the subthreshold. So Packard wasn't doing all this. He wasn't talking about the hidden consciousness or something, subconsciousness or subliminal messages and stuff. Instead, his views largely aligned with the notions that individuals do not always have access to their conscious thoughts. So what he was trying to say is that people often, they do not even know what they want and hence can be persuaded by supraliminal messages, which is messages above the threshold, giving them a conscious choice, conscious options without their knowledge. So you don't tell them that, boss, this is the reason why we are doing this, but you can nudge them, you can push them. And this is not happening because of something in the background or something in the subconscious. It is happening in their face. Let's have a look at which of these sentences summarizes the paragraph in the best possible way. The summary for me as of now is that Packard was not interested in subliminal messaging. What he said was, we do the research, we find out what people want, and even though we don't tell them that, okay, this is why we are doing this, but doing it and advertising it in such a way might work for them. So maybe like having a fancy car will elevate your status. Now you might not be open to saying that, okay, I want a higher status. But once you see a car and you believe that you'll have a better status, you tell people that and people will buy that car. This is the sort of summary of this passage. Now, Packard held that advertising as a hidden persuasion builds on people's conscious thoughts. Yes, it does. It is building on the conscious thoughts and awareness by understanding the hidden motivations of consumers. Yes, and it works at a subliminal level. No, this last part, that it works at the subliminal level, is false, and that is why the entire sentence cannot be my answer, because it includes false messaging. It does not work at a subliminal level. Packard was against the idea of subliminal messaging, or he wasn't against it, he didn't even mention it. Let us look at sentence 2. Packard argued that advertising as a hidden persuasion works at a supraliminal level, where the people targeted are aware of being persuaded. No, people are not aware of being persuaded because it is happening without their knowledge. So once again, this is the false part. If this is false, second sentence is also ruled out. Packard argued that advertising as a hidden persuasion understands the hidden motivation of consumers, works at a subliminal level. So once again, this is ruled out because it does not work at a subliminal level. So third is also gone. Packard held that advertising as a hidden persuasion understands the hidden motivation of consumers and works at the supraliminal level. Okay, so this is correct. Though the people targeted have no awareness of being persuaded. So once again, that supraliminal messaging is happening without their knowledge. So everything is covered in this, and this is the only one where the sentence is not false. It is not contradictory with the passage. The first three, they were contradicting in some part or the other. So subliminal messaging was in 1 and 3, which was contradictory. People are aware that they are being persuaded. That part was contradictory to this last sentence. That ruled out second. Fourth is the only option left. And fourth, to be honest, is a good summary of the paragraph as well, making fourth as the answer. So once again, in this case, we just figured out which of the sentences had all the correct information, and that gave us the answer. You got lucky here. You might not get such luck in the exam, and that is why you need to practice more. Hope you learned something from this video. Thank you. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get notifications of future videos.